Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, I want to talk about why it's so hard to teach the vast majority of people. Okay. One of the things I find most fascinating is how like society as a whole tolerates people going to college for 4 years, learning absolutely nothing. In fact, there has been plenty of studies, even in the early 2000s, about I think one I remember from the University of Chicago, they actually made like a book about it, how they study people going to college, and it's like, yeah, they don't learn anything. Like they literally learn nothing for the whole 4 years that they're there. And we push kids to college, and if I can recall that book, I think it's called Academically Adrift. Okay, like this was written by college sociology professors, where it's like, yeah, we just studied college kids, and like they learn absolutely nothing. Like they don't even have like an incremental gain from going to 4 years of college, right? And so they go to 4 years of college, they get into a lot of debt, and the likelihood of them finding a job is almost minimal, right? Like, or the college degree does not even help people find their job. They probably would have found it anyway if they just lied on their resume. Okay, that's the sad truth. Now, why do I talk about this? Is because people will go through 4 years of college, spend a lot of money, not gain anything from it, and they'll be like, "Wow, that was fantastic," right? And sometimes when you try to teach other things to people, like, and I'll just use velocity banking as an example, just because that's what we talk about for this, all in almost every single video of this channel. Like, if they don't get it within an hour, they like freak out and they think there's like something completely wrong with them. You know what I mean? Like, like I've seen comments in this channel. It's like, I don't get it after just watching like 5 minutes of the video. It's like, dude, why not like think of it as like a skill, like learning how to use Excel sheets, kind of like the piano, right? Like I don't think most people when they open up their loan or credit card statements, they get it immediately. They kind of have to learn how to do the math, maybe learn some Excel spreadsheet functions, and then after some practice, they'll learn how to get it. And then so many people are like, I don't get it after watching like a 5 to 10 minute video, and they're like, holy, like, no wonder you're so, you know what I mean? Like, you could fill in the blank for me, but this is why I don't want to work with the vast majority of people. Because, listen, I think that a lot of society, unfortunately, their expectations were set by the 3 day seminars. You know what I mean? Like the 3 day seminars, and that's not something that I do because I always want to kind of emphasize and focus on lifelong learning, but people are like, I should be able to do this after like one day or like, 1 hour. And I'm like, no, bro, like chill. Like just practice and practice your craft over and over again. Like there is no seminar in the world that'll make you play the piano in like 1 to 3 days. You know what I mean? Like you don't go to a piano learning seminar like I know how to play the piano after 1 to 3 days. But when it comes to, for some reason, finance, when it comes to real estate investing, when it comes to things that would help us in our life in general, like dieting, eating right. It's like if I don't get it in 15 minutes, like something's wrong or you're a terrible teacher. I'm like, what the, you know what I mean? But that's kind of the society that we live in. Okay. And one of the things that I have to tell people, I literally have to tell them this, is, especially if they're working with me, is now is not your time to succeed. Now is your time to fail over and over and over and over and over again. Like, and it's true. Like, how do you think I got so good at these velocity banking spreadsheets? Because I just took these classes, velocity banking over, and like, what is going on? What's a line of credit? Like, how does a mortgage work? I don't get it. And it took me about 3 years to kind of get it, right? It, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't, I just failed over and over and over and over again. And eventually, you fail like a million times. You can put a little bit of effort into what you do. You kind of do some self-correction, and then you practice over and over again. There's that saying that amateurs only practice until they get it right. Well, do it instead of doing it like an amateur, do it like a professional. Always practice, until you get to the point where you can't get it wrong. But too many people, they don't even get to the amateur level, right? It's like they don't even they freak out like, why am I not getting this? It's like, dude, it's your time to fail. Now is your time to fail when you're a student, right? You got to fail over and over and over again, and almost nobody wants to put in the work. Like nobody. This is why like I'm so skeptical of everybody these days that I meet. It's like, okay, like bro, are you gonna fail? Like, am I gonna see you fail? Am I gonna see you put in the work, or are you gonna act like, oh, I got it all and I know what I'm doing, right? But so many people, like this is why, like, I'm, there's a saying, like, hey, the people you want to help the most are the ones you can't help, because everybody, like, especially poor people in this society, have a huge ego. I hate to say that, but it's true. People will hate me for saying that, but like the people who have the egos are the ones who shouldn't have them, right? And so when people like come and attack this channel, I really don't have an ego and I really don't care. Like, well, maybe I have some of it, but it's just more like, yeah, cool, man. Velocity banking is a scam. Oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing, but take a look here. I gotta pay it off mortgage, right? Like I don't really care. Who cares? Maybe I don't know. Like you work on you, buddy. Instead of like going to random YouTube channels and attacking people and saying, "Hey, this," you work on you and you create your own YouTube channel and media outlet. And most people, again, because they're lazy, they don't want to do that. But anything you're learning, now is your time to fail. And here's the other thing too. We live in a society where people shame other people for being beginners. And so what you have is perpetual beginners who pretend to be experts. There are plenty of people out there, okay? Plenty of people who are like, I'm an expert on this. So it's like, well, have you done what you're teaching? And they'll say like, no. Like, what? I'll be like, oh, this is awful. But again, we live in a society where it's just like the bar is so low, and I'm not kidding about this. The bar is so low. If you just put in a little bit of effort, you'll beat everybody. Like the bar isn't that high. People think, oh my goodness, like the bar is super high. Like I'm so behind. No, the bar is super low. Most people have no idea what they're doing, and they all suck. Like almost every single one of them. Because if every here's the thing, if most people were good at what they did, if I stepped outside my house, I'd be like super excited. I'm like, oh my goodness, like you are so awesome. Like, let me go ahead and leave my house. I'm so excited to do what it is that, like, I'm so excited to meet you and talk to you because, like, you are so good at what you do, and I'm begging you to work with me. I don't really get any of that, right? I get, holy crap, another amateur. And the reason, like I said before, amateurs only practice until they get it right. Professionals practice until they can never get it wrong. And most people don't even meet the amateur, like they never reach the amateur level because what happens is they see a video for the first time and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I can't get it." Like, "Oh, like there's something wrong with me." Right? And this happens because of the school system, and the school system teaches the vast majority of the population to become failures. You know how many people I meet like that where it's like I don't get it, like freak out or like and I don't get it within the first, I don't know, session that I meet them. Like, hey, here's this thing. It's like I don't get everything. Like, that's not the effing point. The point is that once you have like a grasp, like understand that this idea exists, to go ahead and practice and do it yourself. But most people, again, we're set up for failure. But again, when you're learning something, that's your time to fail. Most of you will not be like, oh, I'm going to learn velocity banking and study it for 3 years. And I didn't like study like 8 hours a day for 3 years. I'm just saying, give yourself a little bit of time. I was making $20,000 a year and I had no idea when I would even use it, but I still studied it. And it's just failure over and over and over again. And most people don't want to practice. They literally do not want to practice. They think there's something wrong with them if they have to practice their craft, and nobody wants to fail. But I'm going to guarantee, 99% guarantee you, if you learn to fail over and over and over again, that's when the money will come to you, right? The money will come to you, and then once you get it, you're like, wow, that's not such a, you're gonna have rich people problems like, wow, I don't want the money. Money is just a tool to get what I want, and so now you kind of are in the upper class mindset. But that's a discussion for another time. All right, well, that's it for today. Have a great day, everybody, and we will speak next time. It's Korean Atlanta Mentorship.